Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. Today, I have 4 books that I want to share with you. The theme of these books generally is about goal setting, and I thought this would be a good way for us to talk to our students about setting goals for the rest of the school year. These 4 books are very different, but yet they show how hard work, determination, and having a dream really are the most important things in achieving success at life. The first book I want to talk to you about is one that I have a class set of that I got with a math grant. It's called Nothing Stopped Sophie. This is a book about a woman who, as a little girl, loved mathematics. It took place during the French Revolution, and women in mathematics were not exactly an acceptable thing. But Sophie loved math, and she could see how mathematics helped her make sense of the world. She worked so hard. She could not get in universities. No one would take her seriously because she was a woman. So she actually enrolled in classes and sent the work in anonymously, and then she sent it in signed by a name that would have been a man's. Later on, they discovered that she was a woman and really rebuffed everything that she had done. After the French Revolution kind of simmered down, they had a contest to see who could describe the patterns that vibrations made. What mathematical work could decide what made these patterns appear and how could they help in the construction of buildings and bridges. Sophie worked and worked and sent her work in. She was the only one who submitted a solution. However, her first solution was wrong. So she took it back and she worked and worked for another 2 years and submitted her solution, and it was correct. Ultimately, her work was responsible for the construction, safe construction of the Eiffel Tower, many bridges and skyscrapers around the world. She was surely determined, and she had a dream. She was unshakable. Her name was Sophie Germain. As I said, I have a class set of these. If you would like to use them in your class, they're great for science because they talk about sound vibrations. They're great for math because it talks about patterns and equations and solutions. And it's also wonderful to talk to your children about setting goals and working hard to make sure that those dreams come true. The one thing that Sophie did was that she had resilience and she worked hard. So this is a way for us to start the conversation with students about it's okay to fail. Look what happens. Good things can happen. I think you'll enjoy this book yourself. I certainly did. The artwork is phenomenal in it, and it is written by Cheryl Bardot. So if you would like to use it for your class, please come by and see me, and I will be happy to check them out for you. You know, goal setting doesn't just affect us, but it also affects all the people in our lives in the community that we live in. I'm sure a lot of you have read A Chair for My Mother. This is a beautiful book about a family who loses everything in a fire. And when they finally find a place to live, they decide that they need a chair so that they can sit together in the evenings. So they set a goal of getting this chair. And they have all of these things that they do to collect coins and save their money to buy a chair. It is a very sweet book. and it speaks to the human spirit and how when we've lost everything, we still have our dreams and we still have goals to work towards. The next book, I'm sure your boys will love. It is the story of Michael Jordan. It's called Salt in His Shoes. Michael was a young man who loved basketball, but when he first started playing, he was kind of short. His brothers were tall. They would go to the park and play, and there was one really tall bully that kept getting in Michael's way and batting down all of his balls and keeping him from being successful. Michael went home and his mother knew he was discouraged, and he asked her what he could do to grow bigger. His mother, in her thoughtful and loving way, said, "Put salt in your shoes and pray." So Michael said, "Well, what will that do?" And he looked out the window and he saw the beautiful rose bushes that his mother grew and how tall they had become from just little tiny plants. And he really realized that Mom might know something about this. So he said, okay, he would try. He still got discouraged when measuring how tall he had become in a couple of months. He had not grown any. And he got more and more discouraged about growing taller. One afternoon, his dad came and sat with him on the stoop of their house and told him, "Michael, you have everything inside you to be successful. Whether you're tall or short, it's what's inside. It's your desire, your dreams, and your hard work that will make it come true." Michael took off running for the park, played in a basketball game, scored the winning points, and began to believe in himself as a basketball player. Needless to say, he grew up 6'6", the world's greatest basketball player in a lot of people's eyes. But it's a beautiful book about family, about having a dream, setting a goal. Michael just didn't sit at home while his mother poured sand in his shoes and prayed over him. He practiced every day, and he imagined how he would defeat his foes on the basketball court and become a winner. Kids will realize this without us even telling them that practice and hard work go along with dreams and setting goals. It's a lovely book, one that your students will love, no matter if they get the message or not. My favorite one of all these books is called Because. Now, if I were still teaching reading in the classroom, this would be my go-to book for cause and effect, because it starts out with because of something one person did, something else happened. And that is really the theme of the book. It starts out quite beautifully with the story of a musician named Franz. And it says, because Ludwig wrote a beautiful symphony, Franz was inspired to create his own. Because many years later, people wanted to hear Franz's beautiful music, they formed an orchestra. Because a man had practiced since he was a kid, he was asked to join. The story continues like that, taking into effect all of the people that make up the orchestra and make a symphony presentation possible. But the real beauty in this story is because a little girl's uncle got sick, she got to go to the symphony with her aunt. And she was changed. She was changed because of the hard work of others, because people had a dream. And so she developed her own dream and became a composer, a great musician, and a conductor of a symphony orchestra. I think that students will see the cause and effect of the hard work that everyone puts in to making their dreams come true. And also they will see that goals are something you achieve to do, but they don't always come at first, that you don't realize that goal immediately, that it's hard work and practice that goes into it. One of the things I've seen in our classrooms is that students often are afraid to take chances. They're afraid to go out on that limb. They're afraid to venture a guess or try something new because they don't want to fail. These books teach that failure is not horrible. It is not the end. It is the beginning of a new discovery. I think you will enjoy these books. I have them in my room. We have them in the library. Salt in His Shoes is actually in the Comprehension Club boxes, and I believe we have many copies of those around the school. I think each teacher probably has one in their room. If not, I will locate one for you if you would like to read it. This is my personal copy of The Cause. I will order it soon for the library if we don't already have it on order. And you are welcome to borrow mine. I would love for you to take it and use it in your classroom, and even to use it when you start doing cause and effect. I think you will find that it is very effective for that. Again, Happy New Year. I'm excited about what lies ahead for our students. And if I can help you in any way achieve any of the goals that you have set for this year, please be sure to call.